media. Let's lay off them. Let's go to United because they're massive on social media with Goldbridge and Co. Or Liverpool with, Anfield Agenda and Redmen, etc. Let's go to them two teams. They're massive. They'll blow up. And I think because Liverpool and Man United get it as well. Liverpool got it last year. Oh, it's the worst season ever. Liverpool might as well put an asterisk. Put an asterisk.
And when they won it during COVID time.
COVID, the asterisks, all that. So they had it as well. We're getting it now. When you're good and you're at the top, people hate you. We just forgotten it because we haven't been at the top and won for a long time in the Premier League. And when you win a cup, it's great. But everyone says, it's not major though, is it?
They still ain't got it.
They can always say it. So now they can't say it, bro. Yeah, and if they win the European Cup, it shuts everybody up, including Chelsea and City, who think they're bigger than Arsenal. So for me, I do think there's a hatred towards Arsenal, but I think the reason it's done is because we've got a presence on social media that will bite, and it will get them clicks and content and views. And that's why TalkSport are doing what they're doing. It's clever, but we're a fan base that steers into it and says, we'll eat that up. It's not just TalkSport, by the way. There's everyone that does everything.
Every media platform.
Everyone does it.
Sky Sports, YouTubers, everything. Like, one thing I'll give Arsenal content creators, is we might talk about other clubs. I know you do obviously do great work. You do, Arsenal's your club. That's your bread and butter. You do a lot of Arsenal content, but you also have the panel shows with various different fans. I even see Leeds fans and whatnot, yeah? But like 99.9% give or take is you talking about Arsenal. You look at other content creators, obviously, they're talking about Arsenal more than their own club. So my point of saying that is to say this: people need to stop biting the bullet, because as you said, if you don't click it, they know it's cash money in it. It's engagement. It works on the back end. So go and do that. The greater thing is we can't be that boring then. We can't be that boring if everybody likes to watch us and whatnot. Facts. So it's crazy. Before I forget though, Danya, Champions League, talk to me, because I gave our chances 60-40. I think what works for us is it's a cup final. You never know. Anything can kind of happen. I do think the European games are kind of more set up to us. Then I look at, well, there are negatives in it. There are things to make me believe we can't. On paper, they're better than us. Luis Enrique's been there, done it, wore the t-shirt. Individual brilliance, they've got it. If it becomes, while we won't get, we'll be solid defensively. If it gets open and becomes a shootout, we're fucked in it. They've got individual brilliance. They're great on the transition. There's a lot of rotation with their front three and in their midfield. But I am a bit more, and it probably is, I'm still high off the winning the league, yeah, but I am quite optimistic about next week. What are you saying for the champs? Because me and you had this conversation the last time I was on your platform, and I said, for me, if I'm being 100% selfish, I'm disregarding all the millions of Arsenal fans, and it's only my feelings, I want the Champions League. We haven't done it. We've had some great nights out in Europe. We obviously ain't won it. I want that. But then when I consider everything, you look at the journey we've been on, as you said earlier, 20 odd years not winning it, not won it in our quote unquote new stadium, not quite new now, 4 years under Mikel Arteta, specifically in a title challenge, 6 or 7 years under him in its whole totality. I think we needed this Prem. Like, if there was a reality, we fucked up the Premier League or we was nervous against Crystal Palace and won the champs, still a parade, still great, but there'll be that linger. So it's like, where are you at with the champs?
Before a ball was kicked, I wanted the Champions League if I can only have one. 3 games to go, I changed it and said I want the Prem now because I couldn't see another Premier League thrown away. Ask me the same question, which do I want next season? If I can only pick one, it's the Champions League. Okay?
100%.
I'll tell you where I'm at with this final, though. It's 50-50 because it's a final, okay? The reason I sway it 60-40 in PSG's favour for the fact that I think of all the elements I go through, they just about come in front of us. That does not mean they're going to beat us, though. So
hope not.
I look at the managers. I like Arteta because of what he's just done. Enrique is unbelievable, okay? Then I look at the attack. They've got a better attack than us. I look at the defence. I think we win over there. I'm a big fan of Hakimi and Mendes, and I think they've got a great couple of centre-halves. But I think as a back line, I think Arsenal just win there. And then I look at who's been there and done it. And it is, of course, PSG. In Europe, of course, we're talking about that competition now. It's PSG. So that's why I just sway it with them. But I'll tell you this, and this might give fans a little bit of optimism, I hope.
I need it, Dan. Bring it.
If there's any team that can beat them, it would be us in Europe. Because I feel like we're going to, like with PSG, they got the magnets. They're like, we've had ya. With the magnets, we're both at negative and we're repelling. And Arsenal are repelling against PSG because we've got a very, very good, we've got a great, but I don't want to say that because we might not keep a clean sheet, but I really believe we've got a great defence.
It's like yin and yang, the two sides.
I feel Yeah, and do you know what it is? I'll say this, DG, right, about that question there. Whoever scores first is key. If we score first, I swear it's looking good. It's looking good. If we concede, we got to shut up shop and make sure it ain't 2-0 quickly, because they're a very good side. They are a very good side. I think you've got to respect and understand how good this side are. This isn't a side that you're like, I have to be careful. I didn't expect them to be there, but they're there. We've got to respect them. This is a side I knew would probably be there. It was going to be them or Bayern. And I would respect Bayern exactly the same way. They're unbelievable front line.
I would have been more optimistic about Bayern, but I agree.
Yes, I think we could get at them a bit more, but they've obviously got a brilliant attack as well. But look, we've got a great side. We've got a great side. And on our day, we can be brilliant. Yeah, we can be very, very difficult to beat. People saying it's going to be 4s and 5s. Can't wait for them to get battled. Sorry, man, it ain't going to be. We don't get battled. If we lose, we might lose, but maybe 2-1 or 1-0, or, it might go penalties or whatever it be, because we ain't getting a 5-6-0 slapping. That's not going to happen. That's just not what happens to this Arsenal sides. So, yes, we lose games. We do. We've proven that this season. But when we lose, it's really tight. So I think that probably is where it's going to go, man. It's going to be a very, very tight one. But right now, I'm just soaking in this last night and today, man, because that's what matters right now. We never know where it's going to be again. I walked out of Highbury 16 years old, 2004, believing we're going to dominate. We never did. So
look how life humbled you. Then yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I remember in primary school, broski, being called a glory hunter for supporting Arsenal Football Club, and I hope there's kids that they're gonna start saying that again, because it's mad that there's been 20 odd years. Like, you go to the games every week. I've seen you obviously at Dee's wedding. We do content almost all the time with each other. We've seen each other at the games, and not just us, many an Arsenal fan. There's so many different conversations, different highs and lows. And even when we used to do the AFTV interviews, and we would all obviously waiting to get our chance to talk to Robbie, me and you would have conversations. Oh, why did the gaffer do this? What happened there? And it feels like, although that was over a massive amount of time, it feels like we've blinked and we've just got here. It feels like 22 years has just zoomed. You make a great point on the PSG factor. And another thing that kind of pisses me off is they're allowed to rest players. I know we got an opportunity to do this against Palace, but you look at the minutes of some of our injured players versus theirs, it's quite ridiculous. If it comes down to fine margins, they might win it. We might win it. I do feel with not even because of Mascara, because I believe in him, but you're obviously going to miss a player like Timber who's strong 1v1 against those fullbacks. But you know what, broski? Champions League business is Champions League. Like you said, let's stick with the Premier League. Do you feel this Arsenal team are legendary?
So any team that wins a Premier League, to me, will go down in legendary status. I truly believe that. And that's why when people walk past, the word legend is used a little bit too much, in my opinion, 100%. Now. I do think. But if you're going to call some of the legends, you're going to have to put some of these in the same bracket for me. People will walk past ex-players and go, he's a legend. He won an FA Cup with us. Or he's a legend, 93 double winner cup double. Well, these guys are legends then now, because Gabriel walked past you in a few years and they'll remember he won the Premier League 2026. Saliba likewise. So, look, I don't know where this team ranks. I don't think it's as good as some of the previous ones. I had this chat with Kenny and Chris and Russ the other day, and I didn't see the 1991 team, but apparently it was unbelievable.
Kenny told me that.
Exactly. I was too young for 89 and 91. I saw 98. I saw 2002. They were both double winner sides. I thought they were outstanding. I think they're better than this side. And I think the Invincible side was. But I tell you what, if this team now go on to do the unthinkable, and they now go on to dominate in the next 2 years, they'll be recognized and remembered as just like those legends back then. So I think that's what they want to be. I think that should be the standard. That should be the level. They don't just want to win this and then go back to cricket now or snooker. They want to go and get another Champions League and a Premier League next year. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like now this could be the era where we do pick up trophies. I'm not going to say dominate, because for me, I genuinely don't.
And Pep and them, man.
We're talking about Ferguson and Pep. That's it. We're not even talking about Wenger or Klopp. We're talking about two of the best. I don't think Arteta will be remembered as a Pep or a Fergie. But there's no doubt in my mind that Arsenal, the position they're in, they should go and win a serious amount of trophies in the next 2 or 3 years.
We need to make up for lost time, bro. Like, I don't want to go over the past unless you want to talk about the last 24 hours, but we should have a couple of prems. Maybe we should have had a retained it, a 3-peat or 4-peat, a lot of more FA Cups since the last time we won it. Maybe we should have got to another Champions League final. I agree with you, because I do think people, when they talk about dominance, they use that term subjectively. I think PSG are not, for example, they're not going to be the Real Madrid sides in Europe, but I think they could dominate, quote unquote, Europe. I see no reason that, hope I'm wrong, where they couldn't win the next couple of Champions Leagues. Obviously, you made the reference to Pep with City and obviously Ferguson, but I see no reason why we can't win some silverware. Go ahead, but you are right. Like, too much people throw this legendary stuff around. Like, you could say they're a legendary side because they're the first to do it in the Emirates era. I don't quite rank them as the best Arsenal team and whatnot, but you're mentioned around greats. If I had to isolate it, I can't lie. I'm going to put Saliba and Gabriel in some uncomfortable conversations. I think them two have earned it as a partnership and together. Fucking hell, Declan Rice. Declan Rice, you have to be there. And I know it wasn't his greatest season, but for the fact that he's a homegrown kid, he's carried this team on his back. Obviously, he's not had the greatest of seasons, but he's won the Premier League. I have to say Bukayo Saka. And you know what? I have to give love to Raya as well. I wouldn't, you're not the most legendary keeper I've seen at Arsenal. You're probably better than some of the people I'd rank as legends, but you're up there. I wanted to ask you as well, man. Who would you give player of the season to?
Yeah, this one's mad for me. The recency bias, people will go for Raya. He's not actually my pick, but I think he's been phenomenal. He has been consistent. I think Gabriel and Saliba have been unbelievable. I think Saliba's been overlooked and not spoken about. He's been typically and consistently brilliant. Gabriel has been really good alongside him and complemented Saliba, but also what he's done is he's been an absolute monster from set pieces. But the one I have to give it to is Declan Rice, bro. Because I'm old school and a lot of it comes to work rate and covering every blade of grass and putting all you have into this side. And this season,
he doesn't do, bro.
He covers every blade of grass, goes in all sorts of positions. He can play in any part of the midfield.
Leader.
Do you know what? His leadership has been unbelievable this year. He gets it for me, man. And I know people will say around March he dipped, but I truly believe that was fatigue. I don't think he's dipped in the last few games of the season. I really don't. And for me, I'd give it to him. The one player, however, though, I feel like I am inside joyous most for this trophy is Bukayo Saka. Because he's the guy who hasn't just come for a couple of years, hasn't been around in the last 6 months to see how great this place is now. We were 8th with this, brother. You come into the setup, we were 8th and we were down and out. You saved Mikel Arteta's job, in my opinion, at times in the early days when we were bottom of the league, and him and the youngsters, Sam Smith-Rowe and these guys lifted us and elevated us. And people laugh when we say he's carried this team because they'll go, what did he carry you to? You didn't do anything. What people don't understand is he's carried us because we were down and out. And this guy, we needed something from somewhere, and we found him in him. And he's the one I'm most proud for, man. He's the one I'm most pleased for, without a doubt.
I would go with that as well, man. I mean, it's homegrown bias, but he effing deserves it. Big up Max Dowman. And on a side note, that's one thing I'm happy that we won the Premier League. The Max Dowman Everton moment. The Eze obviously against Spurs twice. Newcastle away. There's been a lot of good days out at Arsenal, but it's not sealed off and signed in history. This year is. It's a weird one for me because I think there's a couple of candidates, like every name you said there. I do think Raya deserves it. I do think he deserves it. And why I want to give it to Raya, which I'm not going to like you. I want to give it to Raya. Because I think keepers have to try fucking hard to get some ratings in it. Like, you can make 100 saves, you can see one, nobody kind of cares. And I remember I know you shouldn't look at social media, but I remember social media when they were saying, oh, Raya's only good because of those in front of you, which is true. We've got a good defense and a good keeper. How many times David Raya has bailed us out? And I also give it to Raya because I do think his Arsenal career started shaky. I remember there were some shaky moments. There was the whole Ramsdale kind of thing. So I'd big him up. I agree with you in that. For me, it probably should be Saliba. I think Saliba's PR is shit. It's because he's too good and he's not going to fly into a mad tackle. He doesn't really get his ratings. Why I give it to him is he's not bottled it in big moments. He stood up to be counted along with Magalhaes. But I remember last season, because I remember saying, I think his performances have dropped a bit. And he gave an interview and said that. So to see you recognize that and pattern up this year, I have to throw you in there. Magalhaes does his thing defensively, but he's also scored some vital goals for this football club when we've needed him. So I would say him. But I'm with you, man. It's got to go Rice. It's got to be Rice. I know he hasn't scored goals, but he can score goals. He can take set pieces, the leadership, the blocks, the tackles. It feels like he's the captain of this team. I know history is kind to Odegaard because technically he is the captain of this first Emirates era trophy, innit? But I would go Rice. But then I don't think, in a good way, which is what we want, bro, I don't think there's any good answers. I mean, any one answer. It's like you probably have to cut up the award and divide it to a couple of players, which is what I want. Just on what you said with Saka, I'm most happiest for Saka, but if it was someone else, I would say Gyökeres because I don't know what it is beyond the obvious. I just find like I have a massive affinity to Gyökeres. Like he just gets it, if that kind of makes sense. But I'm happy for everyone. Obviously, I don't want us to rest on our laurels, so people need to be moved on and whatnot, and we need to build and build and build. But we enjoy it today. My final question for you, then, yeah. How do you approach Crystal Palace? For you, is it a thing where everybody has to get rested? Is it a thing where whatever we might be doing from a training aspect ahead of PSG, we use that as an opportunity? Do you think Arteta is going to make massive rotations? Do you think he's still going to go strong? What's everything with Crystal Palace, man? It's great that, it's not
Brilliant.
the Prem on the line. We have to win against Palace. I was shook for that, but yeah, man.
The best feeling ever, man. It's the best ever because people don't have to worry about what Glasner will do now. He can rotate or he can play strong. Whatever he wants to do, it's up to him. He's got a final to go win, so I imagine he'll rotate. And I think Mikel Arteta will rotate as well. I don't think he'll play kids. I think he will actually rotate. And what I mean by that is I expect to see the likes of Norgard. I expect to see the likes of Madueke. I expect to see Martinelli. I expect to see Gabriel Jesus. I expect to see Mosquera and Capier, these guys. Because I do believe that these guys deserve their rest, deserve to be 100% fit for PSG. We don't know what that means for Mourinho and Timber. We don't know if both of those are going to be fit. But Mourinho and Timber have got a chance, apparently. So let's see what they're about. Let's see what everyone else can do to get fit for that final. But for me, I think you need to be careful. If you rest everybody and give them that long time off, they might not be fresh in the legs. But for me, if there is anyone playing that is going to be in that final, I don't want it to be more than 20 minutes, really. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at for that one. And I think you've got a big decision in the final about a few positions. I think you've got to decide whether you want to play Ødegaard, Eze, or both. I think you've got to decide whether you want to play Miles Lewis-Skelly or Zubimendi.
I'm going Lewis-Skelly. I can tell you that.
Yeah. I think you've also got to decide, I don't know what I'd go with, but you also got to decide who plays, the guy who's won the final or the guy that we won up front, Gyökeres or Havertz. And I think as well, there's going to be question marks about left back because Nkapia and Calafiori are both quite different in terms of what they provide for us. So the other positions are set in stone. I think I would go in Capier. I would go with Emirates Eze. I would go with Gyökeres personally, but there's some people that may disagree with that. So look, man, I think what's good now is we're going into games. I'm looking at the bench and I'm happy. And I'm also looking at how we end games as opposed to how we start them and who you end with on the pitch. Because now, it wasn't long ago, bruv, we were ending with Reece Nelson and Fabi Vieira on the pitch. Yeah, now we're ending with the likes of Martinelli and Kai Havertz and Martin Ødegaard on the pitch. So
we're not even using Dalman like that, which I hope he gets to start against Crystal Palace, man.
Yeah, I would start him 100%. So I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling great. It's an understatement. I'm feeling unreal.
Well, and my last question for you, man. What time you getting to the parade, man? Apparently it starts at 2 p.m. on the 31st. I'm there at 9 a.m., man.
Yeah, I'll be there early, man. First train I can get from Essex to London, I'm there, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? So
hey, shout me when you're there, man. We need to link up. We need to bring everybody, man. And this is what me and you have spoken about, whether it's Arteta in, out, this, that, the third. We just want to fucking win, unite the fan base, and it's magical, bro.
Facts. I need to see it. It's going to be unbelievable, that parade. And I'm hoping by the time we're getting prepared and we're getting ready to see these boys, they've got a Champions League as well as a Premier League, man. Can you imagine?
Toes, everything crossed, Dan, man. Obviously, you don't know where to find Dan. And if you don't, it's in the title. Dan, where can people find you? Obviously, what content you got to come out. No doubt you're going to be basking in the glory as we all are. But yeah, man, we need to hear from the horse's mouth.
Of course. Football's 12th man. Dan Arsenal 87 on social media. Come show some love. I just dropped my match reaction. I say match reaction, we didn't play, but you know what I mean. Just dropped a video about the Bournemouth City match reaction and last night's absolute madness. So, yeah, Premier League champions. Come and show some love. Football's 12th man is going to have loads of content now for the next coming week. So, yeah, man, come show some love and big up for having me on, man. It's been too long, bro.
No, it's been too long, Dan, man. Anytime you need me, you know where I am. Just shout me a message. Bro. I'll be on your platform and return the favor. Go follow Football's 12th man. Make sure you're following Dan on socials. Make sure you're dropping comments, you're subscribing, you're showing the love. And also, fans, make sure you're terrorizing the non-Arsenal supporters who gave you grief throughout the years and the seasons. We're going to let Dan get out of it. Dan, as always, love for the love, my boy. And chat, we're out. Safe. Always